Right, well, a couple of absolute beefcakes like us went to see a film that was written for us. It was made for people like us. The Iron Claw.
Beefcakes.
Beefcakes, yeah. Beef with terrible He-Man haircuts. Would you like to give a little bit of a summary of what happens in this film? No spoilers.
Yeah, of course. So this is about 4 adventurers who go on a trek through the jungle to find the mysterious Iron Claw, famous Mayan relic. They mention that it might have some form of mystical power, but we don't know until they find it, and the plot happens.
It does, yes. So the main guy is a Oxford professor.
Famously, yeah. Very Indiana Jones, but yeah.
It's also a musical. What do you think about the songs, first of all? So the opening one, he's in Oxford. It's like the exposition of what the Iron Claw is, what his powers are, the curse that's related to it, the Von Erich curse. What would you think about him?
The first one's about comparative literature. That's the first song, isn't it? 'Cause that's what he does.
Yeah. Well, that's the overture. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Comparing the literature of Mayan understanding of the Iron Claw, the famed Iron Claw.
Yeah,
and how it just kind of spans all of history, the concept of this Iron Claw.
In different civilizations throughout the world.
Yeah.
It's like how pyramids show up everywhere. There's always like... And like, there's also like crystal skulls are in like every sort of culture.
I know. And Harrison Ford is in every culture.
And Harrison Ford appears in ancient... He's on the Bay of Tapestry. He's everywhere. And so, yeah, the Iron Claw.
We're only JKing, guys. We're just kidding. You know what we're like. We're joshing. We're joshing. Sorry, guys.
It's not. His name isn't Josh for nothing, eh?
It's really about a family of wrestlers called the Von Erichs. And they're surrounded by a lot of tragedy, mostly following Kevin.
Yep.
Zac Efron, and how he deals with all this tragedy that surrounds him. Yeah, based on a true story. What did you think?
I thought it was good. I thought people were going to it saying like how incredible it was. I don't know, I think because there's very little plot. It's kind of just, it's a biopic. It is just basically them dying one by one.
Yeah, I feel like...
Is that a spoiler?
Spoilers for this? I don't know.
I don't know, but it's a real thing, yeah.
I feel like, go and read Wikipedia. It's a real thing. So this is all probably spoilers? Is it real?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know, it was good.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was good as well. Should not have been nominated for Best Picture. So I completely agree there.
I don't think
it was strong enough for that.
I don't think it got any nominations, did it?
It didn't get anything.
No.
But I feel like Zac Efron should have been nominated for Best Actor.
A lot of people have been saying that, yes. Who would you replace with Zac Efron then? I mean, the only performance I haven't properly seen is Coleman Domingo. Oh, I haven't seen Jeffrey Wright either. I haven't seen American Fiction yet. And I watched the first, 20 minutes of Rust, and I was like, this is boring as shit.
Oh, Bradley Cooper.
Oh, no, but he was very good in the film. It was just a terrible film, and it was...
Yeah, but if we're talking about... So you've got Paul Giamatti, who's there for performance, Cillian Murphy, who's there for performance. Haven't seen Coleman Domingo, haven't seen Jeffrey Wright. If you want one in there for transformative performance, between Bradley Cooper and Zac Efron in Iron Claw, I would give it to Zac Efron every day of the week.
Yeah, I don't know. Paul Giamatti is he was very good in it, but he just seemed like a normal performance to me. It didn't stand out as an Oscar one. And same with, I think Cillian Murphy Oppenheimer was probably the weakest of the lot, I'd say. Not that he's bad in any way. I think he's really good, but
he's going to win. He's going to win.
Oh, of course he's going to win. I think he's great, but it's still because Oppenheimer is just a bloke. Well, he's a very bad bloke.
He's just a fella.
But he's a very he doesn't even have to have a silly voice or anything.
So let's talk about the performances in this.
Okay.
So we have Zac Efron, who plays Kevin, Jeremy Allen White, Kerry, Harris Dickinson, David, Stanley Simons as Mike. So there are 4 brothers.
And the dad's also a very big part of it.
The dad, Holt McCallany.
I'm not familiar with that actor, but he was great.
He is from Mindhunter.
Well,
Sully, your favourite film, Sully.
I've seen Sully.
Yeah, you loved that one, didn't you?
I preferred Mike, A Monsters Inc. story, but I thought Sully was pretty good too. No, I've seen Sully.
The 4 brothers and the dad, I thought they were amazing performances. I thought they did very well. They were very distinct, especially the dynamic between the brothers. I thought the chemistry was very organic.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And
I've never seen Jeremy Allen White in anything before, because I've never seen The Bear.
You need to watch The Bear.
Even though I get recommended it every week by different people.
Watch The Bear.
I will watch it. He was very good in it, though. Yeah.
Yes.
Very strange-looking man.
He is. He's a little fellow. Have you heard about the belly button controversy?
No.
Jeremy Allen White has done a Calvin Klein advert where he's just wearing his pants on a rooftop and he does not have a belly button.
What, because they like photoshopped on a six-pack and they just...
No, I think it's just really small and is within one of his six-packs. So it just looks like he doesn't have one.
Right, well, I've typed in Jeremy Allen White and Calvin Klein is the first thing to come up, so let me have a look. Oh, wait, is this it? Oh, God, it does look like he doesn't have one. God, it does. Yeah, I think it's just like it doesn't really protrude in at all.
Small, yeah.
And it's right in like the ridge of his... Yeah.
Little 5'7" Jeremy.
Oh, wait, no, that what I was thinking was it's something else, because that's way too high up. Oh, God, I don't
exactly.
know.
It's way too high up, isn't it? It's like
because then there's like a secondary bump, which I think could be it, but even that's too high up, I think.
But he was engineered, this man.
Yeah, I think he was. I think he's a clone. He was grown in a lab. Well, he was grown from the DNA of Gene Wilder to carry on his legacy.
But great, Zac Efron, I think his transformation for this role, like the first shot is him in bed, and it feels like an awkward frame-in, because you see him sleeping on the pillow, and then he gets up, and you're like, oh, why is it just holding on this? And you see how ripped he is. It is like, you see someone on steroids, it's that. It's just pure veins. It's muscle upon muscle. He is massive. He does not look like Zac Efron. Yeah, I think so. It has to be.
It's just when I remember seeing the set photos when they're first filming this, and like... It almost looks, you know, that Little Britain USA sketch with like the two bodybuilders, but like it's played by Matt Lucas and David Walliams, who are like a bit chunkier, and so like the six-pack is like on top of their fat. Like I thought it kind of looked like that, but I think it probably is real.
He is heavyweight, isn't he?
Well, yeah, true.
Throughout the film, it's really weird. It ebbs and flows with the main character. It kind of plays with expectations. That you start with Zac Efron. And him meeting Lily James, and you go with them for a bit, and then his brothers start to go into wrestling, and Harris Dickinson's David then kind of takes the forefront because the dad pushes him to take the title shot, and then he dies, and you're like, oh, okay. And then it's back to Zac Efron, and then Jeremy Allen White comes back, and then he wins the title because the dad's put him there, and then he becomes an amputee. And then he dies. And
all along we've had the youngest brother who just wants to be a musician. He doesn't want to be a wrestler. Who's like forced into it, and he's just nowhere near built enough, and he just gets really injured, and he's in a coma, and then he comes back and he's clearly like brain damaged. Then he commits suicide, and it's just like, God,
so heartbreaking.
That was like the saddest. And I think just it's the fact that they're almost like a cult, like. That all of the brothers are like really close, and they all agree that like wrestling isn't, I guess, the be-all and end-all of life. Like Jeremy Allen White's character was an like, Olympic shot putter, and then there was the big boycott of the 1980 Olympics in Moscow, and so he couldn't do that, and so he got into wrestling. And so the youngest one wanted to do music, and until his dad really forced him into wrestling. But they're all kind of like, they all support their brother. And if he doesn't want to do it, even though they're all grown men, they don't want to stand up to their dad, sort of thing. It's
presented in a way that there's a von Erich curse.
Yeah.
It's kind of implied that there isn't a curse at all. It's just them horrible parents.
They don't say in the film, but do you know how he died? The youngest, the eldest one. I looked up on Wikipedia. Oh my God, it was horrible. So he touched the like tow bar of a car or a van, and it electrocuted him, and which like paralyzed him. He fell forward into some snow and drowned.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's horrific. But yeah, I thought they all sold it really well, and I think every death was really emotional, and really hard hitting, and it's all because you're anchored by Zac Efron the entire way.
Yeah,
I would like to say as well, another big standout, Lily James playing my favourite role that she usually does, which is two-dimensional girlfriend character.
Yeah,
to only further the goals and plot of the male character. That's all she does.
Yeah, in Baby Driver too.
And yesterday
she drive me up the wall, probably, because apparently she's... Remember when she was having an affair with someone, or she was...
It was you,
breaking up someone's marriage. Oh, it was me, yeah. She was breaking up my marriage. I thought the dad was so good. He was so, like, it didn't feel like I was watching an actor. It felt like this is a genuine guy. I fully believe him. I think maybe because the others I knew all the actors were, but I'd never heard of this guy. And yeah, I thought he was fantastic. And he was so... That character was so... After the first one died from a wrestling... Well, I guess complication from the wrestling, they should have been like, right... let's take the season out and let's really watch ourselves. And it just keeps happening, and it only has a negative influence on them. Well, obviously it's that balance of like everything that happens from the wrestling is either really positive because they're like world champions and they get lots of money and security for
recognition,
their and then also really negative because they just get, it takes such a toll on them. And that's sort of what the wrestlers about too. And that's also actually a similar theme with that is it's kind of all they know. So they kind of don't feel like they could do anything else.
Definitely the eldest, definitely Kevin.
Another actor, Harris Dickinson. I've seen him in a few things now, and I actually think he's a really good sort of up-and-coming British actor. I like him a lot.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Triangle of Sadness. That's where I know him from.
Yeah, Triangle of Sadness.
Oh, he's very good in that.
He was in The King's Man as well. I thought he was like a really likeable... Because he was like an unknown. I thought he was a really likeable lead in that, and then...
Yeah.
They did a big twist. And I thought he sort of... even though like the others are more famous, he sort of was as good with it. And the youngest one too, he wasn't as tall and no name, but I thought he was fantastic.
Very well directed.
Yeah.
Sean Durkin hasn't done much else other than this. But I thought it was very confident, very competent, which is nice. It's not the kind of direction you would expect from someone who like you haven't really heard of.
Yeah, I don't think it blew me away. I think it was quite... There were some times where they like lingered on a shot, and you're sort of like, well, what does this mean? Why are we watching it? Like when near the end, like Zac Efron's just running back and forth into the wire in the ring, and so there's stuff like that which is sort of an interesting thing to show us when, and you're kind of wondering why am I being shown this? But I think it was mostly fairly conventional. It didn't blow me away. But if it's an early thing, then I mean I think he's got a promising career ahead of him for sure. Yeah,
great. And I would say a similar thing with cinematography as well. I thought it looked very nice. Very orange, very gold.
I'll take your word for it because I pirated it and it was a cam and it wasn't very good quality. But sure. Wrestling, like I never watched wrestling. I've never known much about it.
Nor did I.
I never watched WWE.
Rowdy Roddy Piper. They Live.
And in Always Sunny as the maniac.
Yeah. Ric Flair was very good in this. Aaron Dean Eisenberg.
He was, yeah. He looked like Jimmy Savile. I saw him. I was like, bloody hell, I didn't know he wrestled adults as well. But yeah, he was...
I would like to talk about the ending.
Okay. Oh, that was so sweet. The bit in heaven, that afterlife
so
bit.
the dad comes in after farming, whatever. Zac Efron has said he's selling their wrestling company to WWF, and he's like, hey, my wife, where's my dinner at?
Yeah.
And she goes, I'm not doing
Josh,
dinner
we're recording with a
hungry.
podcast right now. Can you ask later on? We've got stuff to do. A little bit misogynistic also.
Yes, and she's there painting, the mum, and you never see what she's painting. Obviously, she's a nutcase as well.
Yeah.
Equally to the dad. But from that, you go to an afterlife scene, and what happens in that?
They all meet up. What's his name? Kerry. I knew it was a woman's name.
Jeremy Allen White.
He's the latest one to sort of die, and it's kind of implied because we intercut that with Zac Efron sleeping, so I guess it's kind of meant to be he's dreaming this. But he is in a boat and he's in like I think it's where they live really, their garden, their like lovely ranch, I guess. And he meets up with his other brothers and they're really happy, and I think the youngest one's got a guitar, and then he's like, where's my eldest brother? And they meet like a 6-year-old boy and they're all just hugging, and it's like when they're free of the wrestling and the real world, like you're like, oh, these guys are just great brothers who love each other. And it's sort of like when you see Zac Efron still alive, it's almost like it's sad. It's sadder for him. And what's weird is in real life, like he carried on wrestling. He only retired like 2017 or something, and his sons are like Von Erich wrestlers too. You'd think he'd be like maybe take up.
I would like to hope that he doesn't force him into
job.
it. But
yeah, I'm sure he did.
We'll see. Yeah, I thought it was really lovely. A nice like conclusion for them.
Yeah,
to show that they did get peace because they were really tormented by their parents, and I think that lends itself into the final scene of Zac Efron, his sons, and Lily James pregnant. Yeah. And he's sat there crying, isn't he, watching his sons play. And he says that he used to be a brother.
And they're like, we'll be your brother.
Sad.
And what's sad is like...
And I was like, no, you cannot. That's not how brothers work. We did not come out of the same womb. You are my sons.
But you know... like he's crying and his kid's like, it's okay, you can cry, like everyone cries. Whereas that contrast that with when their first brother died at the funeral and they were wearing sunglasses and his dad's like, take those off and don't you dare cry. How the generational sort of toxicity, like getting stripped away.
The trauma.
Yeah, but it's a lot of like toxic masculinity stuff as well. We have to be seen this way. We have to be the manliest. Have to be the. I mean, it shows how destructive it is. And
the Iron Claw itself, the titular Iron Claw.
Yeah.
I've since used that on Delilah, the sausage dog. So I can confirm it's very effective.
Good. Yeah. And the Iron Claw, the relic, is lost at the end. It falls out of the helicopter.
They never find it.
But you see, like it's in like a jungle in the post-credit scene, and then like a hand reaches in and then puts it on and goes, fine, I'll do it myself. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to that. And also, do you think in Deadpool 3 then he's gonna if he's pruning the other universes down the MCU, is he gonna then prune all the Von Erich? Maybe that's why they kept dying, because Deadpool was pruning all of them.
I would like to see Zac Efron get Ryan Reynolds in a big muscly headlock or something.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Big oiled up headlock.
We've seen
that'd be so manly, wouldn't it? If they were both naked, like really oiled up, wrestling like two heterosexual men.
Oh yeah, get Juggernaut in there.
Should.
The Blob. Right, we're just chatting nonsense now. Shall we move on to the next film?
Yes,
what did
I
you
really
give
liked it. I gave it 4 stars.
I gave it 3.5.
Very good. I don't think it's a stand-up from the year, but maybe of the decade. I feel like it will get lost.
Yeah, I think so.
But from last year, I think it was very good.
Yeah,
very good.
I liked it.